Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at how to select images, filter images, and organize images based on what's going on here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're inside this library folder, got library option here, and I'm going to make sure that we look at the most recent batch of stuff that came in. And we will go ahead and inside the library module, I'm going to go ahead and close the basics of where all of this is. But you guys can see here's the 89 images that were brought in. And here's the other images here. But if I close this, and that's the recent imports, if I click on all images, this would show me every image that's actually in here. But I'm going to go ahead and stay in this batch here just for our purposes. And I'm going to go ahead and close that library drop down there in this little panel here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we can do for filtering down our images. Now, later on I'll explain how to use the cull tool for doing this, but for our purposes right now, I'm going to show you guys how we can do this. As I use the arrow keys, I can look at all of the images that are actually inside of this group of images that just came in. And as I'm going through these and looking at these, you'll notice that once again the browser is represented here and I've got the images here. I'm just using the right and left arrow key to kind of go through what I'm looking for here or what I'm looking at here. And you'll notice that there's a variety of things that have been shot here for a multitude of purposes. Looks like I was planning on doing some sort of panoramic stitching, so I did a bunch of groups of shots there. So as I'm going through images and trying to figure out what image I like and what I'm looking at, I'm going to go ahead and grab an image. I kind of like this one. So as you're going through these, you have a variety of ways of selecting, just like you do inside of Lightroom. So I can go in here and press the space bar. No, that's not a space bar. I can go ahead and do a check mark here and click here and choose a color. So for example, if this was a green, I could choose green and that not. And I've got a 5-star here. There is no pick flag like we have inside of Lightroom. So basically we have one less starting round. So as you're going through your first round of images, once again, you could use the number keys to put a star on here. So for example, if this is a strong image, I could say, okay, this is a 3-star. And I could go through a couple more of these and see if there's anything else I like. This image here is not bad. I might keep this one. And then as I scroll through this batch, I can say, okay, which ones of these do I like? And as I'm looking at these, I'm actually looking at like how I shot it, if it's crooked. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue along the lines with 3 stars. So as you're going through these through your images, you can go through a variety of them, and as you're going along, you can just keep adding your filtering to what you want to do. So for example, that's definitely a 3-star there. And I'm going to see if there's anything. I think this just ends with the panoramics. Oh yes, I did have some fun with these. I had airplanes coming through. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of these airplane ones. And then once I've done that, I can go over here and I can filter these as we've done before. I've got 6 images with the 3 stars selected. So I can go ahead and click here and it now filters down to just this batch here. So now I'm looking at just these 6 images. So this is a way of narrowing down your selects as you're moving along. Very similar to what we did inside of Lightroom. Once again, color tags. And you've got these variety of color tags that you can apply to an image. So there you go. So if I click here, hover, and say, okay, let's make this one red or green, boom, it's now got our green in there. So if I want to filter one more level of green and six, so if I choose green here, I'm looking at just the images from green. So that's a quick way of narrowing down things for whatever your purposes actually are. So there's your organization. Let's move to the next lecture. See you there.